And we're back here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. When that computer decides to do a little update on its own, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Nonetheless, Pleasant Grove starting to take over the set a little bit. This is their largest lead of the night. Nelms going up at the net with Rowden. That's a tough match. And this one wisely just put to the floor. Byrne found the floor on it. 14-10. Thanks for sticking with us. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
Hey, I'm Josh Surrett, project manager with 2B Builders. We're a local GC here in Texarkana. We have Lone Star out here doing our heating and AC. They do a good job for us. We really appreciate the customer service that they provide. I know that at Lone Star Heating and Air, I can always call Matt or Dave, their head commercial HVAC guy, and they will always pick up the phone when I need them. And that's a big thing when we're working out here on these commercial projects. Usually when we're in a bind, we need something and we need it pretty quickly, and we can rely on Lone Star for that.
And we are back here on Game Day with the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks. A 14-10 lead over the Paris Ladycats. And it'll be Boemke set to serve. And Pleasant Grove, we knew that in that first set wasn't necessarily them in their game hitting their stride. It seems like they're doing so here in set number 2 after the Paris Ladycats won that first one. Big setup, but I think Titus at the net gets a huge block. And I tell you, something like that's a momentum turner because Rowden, I mean, she can really drill a hole in the floor. And then on the other side here, Nelms with a beautiful serve. So the Paris Ladycats trying to mount a little bit of a comeback, but I'll tell you what, it's tough to do. And eventually a coach says, you know what, we're just going to go to our girl. Something we talked about pregame is we know where our bread is buttered. And Rowden certainly does that. And then a tough handle on the service. Yeah, it's kind of funny. We talked about earlier when it was so tight that, you know, this is how that first set went. Similarly, on the other side, this is how the first set went as well, as Paris Ladycats kind of started to pull away. Titus gets that one to land, though. And so just as in the first set, you go back and forth, Paris gets on a little bit of a run. Same thing here, just inverted, back and forth. But Pleasant Grove goes on the run. Nelms sets up Rancher on the outside, and that tip kind of took it right to where it needed to go on the back row. Meanwhile, Paris kind of scrambling to save some of these balls that finally Rowden comes in, takes a big swing, and Paris can't keep it in. And now, and it's crazy how identical the first set is to this second set, but just the opposite. You know, and just like that first set, though, you know, we talked about how Paris was looking to close out. You know, you're within striking distance, but your opponent still in it. Same type of situation. Liggins doesn't quite get as much on that one as she'd like. Wants another setup. That one she gets a big paw on. Paris Ladycats cut it to within 3. Liggins going right up at the net with McBride, and McBride comes away winning that battle. And this time it's Liggins who wins it at the net. So a little back and forth we go. Cass coming up to serve for the Paris Ladycats. This point's going to be awarded over to Pleasant Grove. Coach Esch steps out onto the court and going to deliver a message to Riley Nelms to give to the official. And you know, usually if you have one official can overrule another one, coaches, players, they all know that you can kind of have that conversation. It's not often going to go your way. You can get a response, and of course that's what this is an explanation more than anything. And if there was any little bugaboo, if you will, from that first set that the Paris Ladycats won, it was, you know, just those self-inflicted wounds. Sort of like that, yeah. And that's 2 in a row. And we have a timeout, 23-17. Pleasant Grove looking to knot this thing up. They're on the road here in Paris on Paris Game Day.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason with Golden Corral in Texarkana. I've got big cheers going out to Lone Star Heating and Air. I talked with Matt Shirley over at Lone Star Heating and Air. They actually came out, looked to see what we needed. They ordered the supplies or the equipment and everything. They came in and they did the install. They did 2 units in 1 day with no business disruptions whatsoever. Thanks to Lone Star Heating and Air, we got our air up and going and everything's running good.
And out of the timeout, it will be the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks to serve. McBride, the junior. Paris with a lot of work to do if they want to crawl back in this one. The first thing they got to start doing is handling the serve receive a little bit better. Instead, it looks like it's going to be Walker who comes up and puts Pleasant Grove 1 point away from a second set victory and tying it up here tonight in Wildcat Country. Nelms, a little bit of a soft touch over the net. Now she'll set up Liggins. Liggins does the same thing, just a little dump. The other side, saved by the Paris Ladycats. Great job defensively by that back row. And this one just placed perfectly against the Paris Ladycat defense, and this set goes to Pleasant Grove, 25-17. And they're gonna switch sides, and they'll do it one more time. We have at least 4 sets to go for tonight's contest. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
At Raffaele Property Management, keeping our tenants comfortable is a top priority. That's why we trust Lone Star Heat and Air. They've always been dependable, quick to respond, and their work is top-notch. Whether it's routine service or an urgent call, they take care of it with professionalism and care. We couldn't recommend Lone Star Heat and Air more for anyone looking for a reliable HVAC service. At
Yay! We're so excited you decided to become a member.
Thanks, I didn't think it would be this easy.
I know. We've opened up memberships so even more people can take advantage of our amazing services.
Are you gonna clean this up?
Become a new member and take advantage of all RRCU can offer. Experience the credit union difference anytime, anywhere.
No, seriously, are you gonna clean this up?
Do you RRCU?
All right, back here on Game Day, we are getting ready for the third set, knotted up, 1 apiece, and we knew that just based on how these two teams matched up with one another that it would certainly be a hard-fought, exciting contest, and that's what we've seen here tonight. 2 very well-coached teams between Paris and Pleasant Grove, and 2 well-challenged teams in their non-district schedules and what they went up against, getting ready for 14-4A play and knowing that things are going to only get tougher in this district. Of course, with Sulphur Springs and North Lamar in Hopkins County getting district play started for those 2 as well, and so that means Pittsburgh and Bonham facing off. And you know, I think that Sulphur Springs is going to be the ones who feel like, you know what, this is ours for the taking. This is the game that, or the season that we feel like we can go out there, win this district. However, the next 3 teams certainly are going to feel different. North Lamar, Paris, Pleasant Grove. All 3 of those teams are going to feel like, you know what, we go out and get a district win, first round, first game. That will do a ton to elevate any team who starts out 1-0 because of how the schedule lays out with these teams facing off first. Yeah, obviously Bonham, Pittsburgh having a rough go at it in volleyball this year, but that's nothing that is a gimme necessarily. Still got to go out there, still got to play, still got to win, get 25 or 15 on the board. But if you can come out with a win over Pleasant Grove, or for PG, a win over Paris. On the other side, if you can come out 1-0, a win over North Lamar, or for North Lamar, a win over Sulphur Springs, just does tremendous things. And this one falls in for Nelms. And that's a great way to get things started. Probably your best server. See if you can reel off a couple of points to get this thing started, and then goes into the net. If you're joining us on Facebook, you guys, I appreciate you. Give it a share. Let everybody know and see where they can check out Paris Ladycat or Pleasant Grove Lady Hawk volleyball as Titus takes a big swing. And, man, that's a great player and a great athlete to be able to bring off the bench, who can elevate and get a big arm on that ball. It'll be Clary Beard She gets a nice serve over. Sets up Titus one more time. Titus just passed it along to Nelms. Nelms gave it right back to her. The Paris Ladycats with a 3-1 advantage here in the early goings of set number 3. And a great serve from Beard. And she'll come back to do it again, but catches the net. So similar to how the first round of serves went for the Paris Ladycats, you have a terrific ace, followed by the net monster catching a point. And for Pleasant Grove, you talk about a young lady that they're excited about. We talked about the freshman for the Paris Ladycats, Lila Severson. So this point's going to go over to Paris. Young lady serving there, and I know that Ariana Pueloa, perhaps, she's a freshman too for the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks, and a young lady that I know Coach Collum is very excited about. Back set to the bread and butter. I don't know if Jayla Rowden has a nickname, but butter would fit nice. I mean, when in doubt, set up 8. (5-3). Here's Nelm to Liggins. Liggins puts a big swing on it. Rancher will give it a try, and this one kind of pinballs around. And that first one, man, getting some tips at the net, benefiting both of these teams in this rally here. As Rancher will send it over. On the other side, Beard. We mentioned those tips on this rally. Blocked at the net. Great job, Severson and Liggins. And Pleasant Grove just not letting it hit the floor, though, until Liggins able to split it right in between McBride and Colvins. And now Cass checks back into the game for Severson. It'll be Cass to serve. And Pleasant Grove, not exactly pretty as Liggins puts another swing on it. And now chasing a ball, not able to get to it. But Pleasant Grove, there have been some that have gone astray that they've chased down to keep this thing alive, and then, whether they end up with a point, there they do. And sometimes some of that chaotic play, just keeping it alive in that manner, can really be the difference in a game. McBride coming up, her second serve. I think that you had a Ladycat either get in the net or under the net. And this one is knotted up. Yeah, that's just a dangerous ball. You don't always intend on it, but that kind of drifts over. Almost sets up your opponent in a way. Nelms sets up Liggins. Nelms with a little bit of a push kill. Really good job there. And now for the Paris Ladycats, Abby Harper checking into the game, rotating in. Liggins blocked at the net along with Harper right there. And it'll be Rancher. Let's see, where'd this one fall? Pleasant Grove thinks it's on theirs. And that is the case. Point goes over to PG. Rancher can put something kind of crazy on that ball with her service. Meanwhile, Haynard. And we talk about how nice it is to have a young lady like Titus, come off the bench and be able to provide some offense for you. On the other side, that's Haynard for Pleasant Grove as Liggins takes a big swing and getting caught up in the net. Just awkward place for the ball to fall. And that puts the Paris Ladycats back on top, 9-8. Liggins. A little bit of a knuckleball there. This one, a lot more top spin and good swing that time from Byrne. Paris Ladycats defensively, get it back. Nelm sets up Titus going for the corner and it goes well long. So now Del Toro coming in for the Paris Ladycats. Paris libero checked in and the Pleasant Grove libero serves. Titus going for that corner again, had it, but great job from Pleasant Grove. And this time just a big swing from Byrne. And PG, we talk plenty about Rowden. I'm sure that she gets mentioned quite often, but and there are a number of young ladies on this Pleasant Grove Lady Hawk team that can take a good swing. And this time, just a little miscommunication and getting tied up between Rancher and Cass on that back row. And Pleasant Grove regains the lead. Rancher to Nelm. And just can't quite place it where Titus wanted. And there's going to be a timeout on the floor. Pleasant Grove leading 12-10. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
We're here at the biggest game of the year for the kickoff. And I say these local guys have no competition, John.
No doubt, Stephen. Why sweat in the press box?
When you can sit like a king.
And we got the best seats in the house right here, baby.
Where every seat is the best seat.
Oh, yeah. Texas Furniture and Appliance. Local since 1927.
These players are definitely in their comfort zone.
You say something?
And back here on Game Day, it is 12-10. Pleasant Grove with the lead in even sets, one apiece. And not that it's insurmountable when you fall down 2-1, whichever team that may be. But, man, it certainly does kind of put the pressure on. That ball sat on the net for a long time and then blocked by Rowden. I tell you, that was about as clean and clear of a block as you can get. set, Titus. And she tried to go block one more time, but this time catching the side of the wrist and falling to the floor for the Paris Ladycats. And this could be a pretty critical moment with Nelm serving. And Titus, kind of had a gift put right in front of her. I don't know if it was a little mistimed jump or if Rowden on the other side of the net, she kind of expected a little bit of a challenge from it. She just couldn't quite get that ball back over. Nelm kind of caught in between there on that set. Yeah. And there it is again, just talking about how that ball, when it drifts, especially whenever it's starting to descend from its apex, Nelm. Ooh. Rancher took a big swing, and man, it wanted to get over the net, just caught too much of the bottom part of the white. It was close. Cleaned it up. Tell her to clean it up. Great job that time by Severson. This one couldn't get the downward trajectory on the hit from Harper, and that point goes over to Pleasant Grove, and they're starting to pull away a little bit here in this third set. Timeout. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
Ready to rep your school and your wallet?
I'm here to open a student account and score that sweet school debit card.
With no monthly fees, mobile banking, and a debit card that shows your school pride, our student account is built for your game plan.
Get in the game. Open yours today.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
And out of the timeout, we have a 17-11 contest here. And for Pleasant Grove, it's going to be Prigine to serve. Paris able to return. We also have Zariah Mitchell. Or excuse me, that's Rancher. Funny enough, Rancher, her hair was sitting next to the 2, and it made me think it was a 12. Nonetheless, Pleasant Grove is in that smell blood territory. It's Titus. Yeah, big swing, that's what you need. Kind of get yourself back in it. Beard. Yeah, Pleasant Grove kind of getting caught in between. I'm going to say 4 hits. Pleasant Grove kind of shrugging, not sure where the 4th one came from, and might have been right at that beginning. And here's another point being given to the Paris Ladycats. As Beard continues her service. It's a good one there, and this one goes awry. Just nothing that Pleasant Grove can do about that. So a little bit of the comeback trail as Pleasant Grove wants a timeout. we're going to take one with them. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
At Moore Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Paris, we can make your next vehicle purchase simple, stress-free, and built around you. Whether you're looking for a rugged Ram truck, an adventurous Jeep, or a quality pre-owned, we have the right vehicle for you at the right price. And with over 700 five-star reviews, our customers know that our friendly, knowledgeable staff is here for you. So come see us off the Loop in Paris, Texas, and for more details, visit moorecdjr.com. At Moore.
And we're back here on Game Day, 18-15. Pleasant Grove, been a little bit of control in this one. However, behind the service of Clary Beard and some good play from the Paris Ladycats, they're starting to mount a little bit of a comeback, scoring the last 4 points. Nelm sets up Titus. Titus gets the deflection off Rowden, and it finds the floor. So Beard catches the net on this one. I mentioned that was going to be a critical point in this set. Nelm, no problem setting up Titus, but she swings long. 20-16, worked to get it back to within 2, and then Pleasant Grove scores a couple of points. And of course, whenever you put a swing on it like that and it goes long, you kind of cut your eyes over at the officials, see if maybe there's some sort of tip. Certainly wasn't that time. And now 21-16, Pleasant Grove. They've led by as many as 7, and we're starting to get closer to that territory. And freshman Pueola. And really, I'm going to go Ariana the rest of the way just so that I don't offend anyone back in Texarkana with the pronunciation of her name. I got one before the game, and just struggling. Sending it back over Nelms, a little too much power. And now Pleasant Grove looking to close out this second set. 23-16. As the freshman Ariana. And that's something that Pleasant Grove has done really well, is fight the ball back over. This one ends up out, but in this third set specifically, they've done a really great job of, maybe you don't get the right hand on the ball, but chasing it down, getting it back in play, and getting it over. 23-17, if you're going to be on the comeback trail, you got to get your wagon hitched now. And that's a great way to start. Beard defensively. Paris is just going to send it right back on over. And couldn't quite get the set they wanted, and Liggins with a big swing, and this one sails. So Pleasant Grove a point away from taking a 2-set-to-1 lead after Paris took set number 1. Baird to Helm, Rancher with a hit, and then Liggins finishes it off. And there it is. Second set going to Pleasant Grove. And they're going to switch sides, and the Paris Ladycats are going to have to win the next two in order to take this one tonight. Meanwhile, Pleasant Grove trying to finish it off in 4. We will be right back here on Game Day.
Sorry you're under the weather, Susie. Here are those loan docs.
Oh, thanks, James. I'm so glad we didn't have to delay this closing.
Tissue?
Thanks.
Secure and safe loan closings, or take care of just about any banking task. Experience the credit union difference. Anytime, anywhere. With RRCU's digital banking. Do you RRCU?
Hey, I'm Josh Charette, project manager with 2B Builders. We're a local GC here in Texarkana. We have Lone Star out here doing our heating and AC. They do a good job for us. We really appreciate the customer service that they provide. I know that at Lone Star Heating and Air, I can always call Matt or Dave, their head commercial HVAC guy, and they will always pick up the phone when I need them. And that's a big thing when we're working out here on these commercial projects. Usually when we're in a bind, we need something and we need it pretty quickly, and we can rely on Lone Star for that.
And we're back. Thank you so very much to our presenting sponsors here on Paris Game Day, Texas Furniture and Appliance, and of course, Red River Credit Union. Thank you guys so very much for making Game Day possible. Also, First Federal Community Bank, more CDJR, vital part to the presence of Paris Game Day here in Lamar County. We are so grateful to be able to serve our schools and help you guys to see what our athletic programs across the county are up to. And as a matter of fact, what are they up to? Well, the Chisholm Lady Mustangs, they've got Commerce tonight, and that is at Mustang Gym, while the Prairie Land Lady Patriots at Lone Oak and the Sulphur Springs Wildcats hosting your North Lamar Pantherettes. Also, that's a District 14 4A matchup like we have here tonight at Wildcat Gym. So, really critical. And I know, obviously, first game, right? First match of district, you're opening it up. There's plenty of time to recover if you lose. There's plenty of time to falter if you win, or to get that momentum going to where you traject yourself to becoming a district champion, if you will. But even more so with how this schedule stacks up. We talked about it a little bit earlier, and for the 14 4A district, you have what is projected to be your top 4 teams here: Pleasant Grove, Paris, and then in Hopkins County, North Lamar and Sulphur Springs going at it here tonight, while you have Bonham and Pittsburgh playing. And not that Bonham or Pittsburgh can't, come up with some wins and do what they need to do to, make the postseason. But as far as the non-district play has gone, it certainly seems like you have 4 that are suited to be playoff bound, and not a ton separating them. Sulphur Springs had the best record out of all of these teams, 21-8. Whereas Pleasant Grove, 15-10. Paris Ladycats also with 15 wins. Played a few more games, 17 losses. And then North Lamar, I love saying this, North Lamar is North Lamar. That girls' athletic program, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Volleyball, basketball, softball especially, as Titus can't quite get it to the other end of the net with Rowden along with McBride. Their presence and kind of right the other way. Rowden tried to go up, lands on her side of the net. We're knotted 1 apiece. just a great serve from Nelms. And Nelms, who, maybe twisted an ankle, something of the sort in the first set, and she was down on the ground for a little bit, stayed in the game, and she gets her second consecutive ace. And then drives it into the net, and that's something for the Paris Ladycats. It's been really tough. It's been really tough for them to, kind of keep it consistent. You get a couple of really nice serves. Meanwhile, it's going to be the fourth hit. Each touch, not really able to get a lot of air under that ball to control it. Nelm sets up Severson. This one's going to go long. Titus reared back for a big swing, decided to put just a little touch on it. And now Paris does a great job of saving this ball. And then how about it? Rowden just comes up and kills it. Back set to Harper, and just a little missed timing on that jump, and an early timeout for the Paris Ladycats. We'll step aside with them. 7-3 here in set number 4 on Game Day.
We're here at the biggest game of the year for the kickoff, and I say these local guys have no competition, John.
No doubt, Stephen. Why sweat in the press box?
When you can sit like a king.
And we got the best seats in the house right here, baby.
Where every seat is the best seat.
Oh yeah, Texas Furniture and Appliance, local since 1927.
These players are definitely in their comfort zone.
You say something?
And back on Game Day, Paris won the first set. Pleasant Grove has stormed back in sets 2 and 3. And here, the early goings, it's hard to say control of the set, but you can tell by a play like that they're certainly feeling a lot better than when they had that first set go to the Paris Ladycats, now 8-3. You can tell PG playing a little bit looser here. This one catches the corner. If you're joining us on Facebook, thank you guys so very much for tuning in to Paris Game Day. If you will, there's still plenty of time. Give it a share. Let people know where they can watch their Paris Ladycats. Or if you're in Texarkana, the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks. Titus gets a couple of hands on the ball there. And had to fight it in the net, and that point goes over to the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks. Yeah, Liggins, you know, maybe that one was headed long. And you get to thinking about it, and yeah, I don't know. Get to thinking about it, get in between, not really sure, and you make that last split-second decision. And now this one getting away from the Paris Ladycats until I say that, and Titus makes a big play at the net. And then Beard gets an ace. And Beard with another ace. You know, that's why I'm, so reluctant to say, in the first half of a set and there's a little bit of a lead. It's similar to what they say in basketball. It's a game of runs. So just as the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks had a 10-point lead, certainly that's a place you want to be. As this one lands, I think it honestly might have been touched anyway. Yeah, it's a place you want to be, no doubt about it. But when you are on first 18 points or so, there's certainly still room. Adriana for Pleasant Grove. Ariana, excuse me. I said I was going to use her first name so I didn't butcher the last name, and lo and behold, yeah, Rowden gets Coach Collum out of her seat. And 15-6. And that little Paris Ladycat run, it's a good decision to let that one go. Meanwhile, back set, Rowden and Liggins elevating at the net to get a block. Good serve from Beard, but oh man, just picture perfect that time from Haynard. Not only do you get it to, get over the net on tipping the net, but right down that line. Nelm sets to Liggins. Liggins, just a little touch over the net. And this one goes long. So the Paris Ladycats, you're still kind of right there, 16-9. It's not doom and gloom just yet, but you gotta make a run happen at some point, and not going to be able to trade points with Pleasant Grove at this point. And as PG goes up to block it, kind of went straight up and came straight down. They weren't able to locate the ball again in the air. And so Cass, back set. And a good swing put on that time by Walker. Liggins, Liggins absolutely crushes that one. And again, Paris has trailed by as many as 10, and they've closed it to within 6. Ooh. Yeah, Rancher put a really nice shot on that ball, but just couldn't quite keep it in. And Pleasant Grove extends the lead. Yeah, and that, out on PG, but just kind of as we were saying, trading points, it's good that you feel you're going toe-to-toe with them, but 2-1 and a 6-point lead, you're going to have to make a little run as Liggins sends it over. Nice serve. You either want that top rotation on the ball that dives over the net, or you want it to have no rotation and just kind of, if you see that thing coming at you, it's tough to get a handle on. Short set, great job from Paris to get that back over. On the other end, great job from Harper. Put a good swing on it. Liggins. Back set. And a hard smash, that time from Colvins, as she takes a seat and Rowden comes in. And if you're Coach Collum, you love that. You get Colvins to put a good swing on the ball, get a big kill, and then you bring your big timer back into the game. That's pretty ideal. Meanwhile, back set, Pleasant Grove blocked at the net. Great job defensively, and then here is a kill from Titus. So Paris, once down 10, closed the gap to 4. And you've got another stellar server. And a great job, but a fantastic dig on that serve to get it returned. And then I don't know how that got over the net, but it does. Paris in this rally doing some good stuff defensively. And then just finding open space on the floor. That one's tough. You got a good serve, kind of felt like you did everything right in that regard. And timeout, Paris. They trail Pleasant Grove 20-15. We're going to take a timeout with them here on Game Day.
Ready to rep your school and your wallet?
I'm here to open a student account and score that sweet school debit card.
With no monthly fees, mobile banking, and a debit card that shows your school pride, our student account is built for your game plan.
Get in the game. Open yours today.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
First Federal Community Bank, the only bank you'll ever need.
And we're back here on Game Day. It is 20-15. Pleasant Grove with the lead in this set and a 2-set-to-1 lead over the Paris Ladycats in the District 14 4A opener. As the Sulphur Springs Ladycats, they take down North Lamar in 5 sets. Now, we mentioned it is not going to be an easy road for any of the teams, these two or the two teams that played in Hopkins County tonight, Sulphur Springs and North Lamar. So Sulphur Springs 1-0 in district as the Paris Ladycats awarded a point here. Clary Beard to serve for Paris. And Nelm making a dive at it, and that one was certainly going to land in. It was towards that back line, but couldn't quite get what she needed on it. And now, despite a valiant effort from the Paris Ladycats, Pleasant Grove feeling like they're getting close. Big swing at the net, and Rancher does a great job, but defensively the block, and it just falls in on the other side. 22-16. A back set dump from Nelms. She's crafty. And then I think Titus maybe not quite as close to the net as she thought. And it falls the way of Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks, 23-16. And Ariana, the freshman for Pleasant Grove. Beard sends it back over. Set. And a fantastic job from Del Toro. And Del Toro again. And this time Baird. Rancher sends it over. I tell you, Paris making them earn it for sure. As here's Titus. Titus finishes that rally strong for the Paris Ladycats. And I tell you, Del Toro defensively there. That was stellar because you had Rowden absolutely crush that ball. And now it'll be Del Toro to serve. I think something, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we had an official walking off the floor to talk to someone outside, maybe the Paris. She's got her eye on something, and, you know, we talked about this before the match, that new rules say that you can, officials can, say see you later if something happens. I'm not sure that that's the case, but she went and, got someone. Does get rowdy in the student section, and you want that. But you got to know where that line is, and you don't cross it for sure. So back in the action, a big hit from Pleasant Grove goes long. And yeah, you're right on the edge. 23, a win for PG, a loss for Paris, but that doesn't mean this thing's over quite yet. Nelms sets it for Rancher and then just has to fight it at the net. Can't quite get it back over, as that has really been the strength of Pleasant Grove. The kills and the blocks playing at the net. And it's kind of like, if you're a football fan, it's kind of like, the game starts in the trenches. You could call that the trenches of volleyball, if you will. And that's how this one's going to end, on a double hit. 25-18, the fourth set goes to the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks. They'll begin District 14 4A 1-0, and the Paris Ladycats, they will drop to 0-1. And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Thank you so very much to our presenting sponsors, Texas Furniture and Appliance, Red River Credit Union. Also, thank you to First Federal Community Bank. Thank you guys so very much. For Reed Preston, producer, Ava Langley, assisting with production here tonight, Brittany Young, and also Jordan on the camera with us as well, Jordan Wise. I'm Stephen Johnston, and you've been